Welcome to LFN News, a production of LFN Media, bringing you the latest in celebrity news, with specific analysis to keep you in the know of what is going on around you. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe, and hit the bell icon, so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. 3 weeks into his federal trial in Chicago, the RnB King R Kelly spoke for the very first time Thursday morning, telling the presiding judge he would not be testifying in his own defense. Judge Harry Leinenweber asked Kelly directly that morning if he would be testifying in this Chicago trial, and the 3-time Grammy Award winner responded saying he would not. Judge Harry brought up the issue minutes before attorneys for Kelly and his 2 co-defendants began calling their first witnesses, in an effort to counter 2 weeks of government testimony, including from 4 women who accused Kelly of abuse. He reminded R. Kelly and his co-defendants that it was their constitutional right to testify in their defense if they so wished. Co-defendant Milton Brown will also not take the stand at their federal trial in Chicago, although McDavid, a longtime Kelly business manager, who is accused of allegedly helping Kelly rig the 2008 trial, at which Kelly was effectively acquitted, has chosen to testify in his own defense. Kelly's refusal to testify in his trials is, however, nothing new. Kelly also did not testify at his federal trial in New York last year, where he was resultantly convicted of racketeering and violation of the Mann Act charges, and later sentenced to a hefty 30 years in prison, a sentence that took many R. Kelly fans and supporters by surprise. Most R. Kelly fans actually assume him testifying would have been too risky for his case, because Kelly is known to have once exploded in anger when under tough questioning, which, if he did on the stand, could completely hurt his defense. But this is far from the likely reasons why. In fact, Kelly also did not take the stand at his 2008 related trial in Chicago, when he was eventually acquitted of all charges, after the central witness refused to take the stand and testify against the "I Believe I Can Fly" hitmaker, eventually birthing this very trial. Now, 2008 was way before his alleged explosive behavior, in his interview with Gayle King, which many believe is the reason behind his silence in all his trials. One can easily see that it's always been R. Kelly's strategy, not to take the stand in court, but why? Well, the decision whether to testify at trial belongs solely to the client. While the lawyer can decide tactics and strategy, the lawyer does not get to decide if the defendant testifies or not. However, the lawyer will advise the defendant as to whether he believes the defendant should testify. The defendant may then follow that advice or reject it. One of the biggest dangers of a defendant testifying in a criminal case, however, is that once he testifies, he has completely waived off his right to remain silent, and will likely be ordered by the court to answer any questions brought up in cross-examination, if he refuses to do so after taking the stand. This is a totally risky maneuver, especially in such sensitive cases like R. Kelly's, where prosecution might easily surprise you with a specifically sensitive question. Well, most abuse cases involving adults and alleged minors are usually very sensitive cases, and the power of witnesses and testimony in such cases is undoubtedly immense. However, it is important to remember that the burden in such cases is the government's, to prove guilt beyond reasonable doubt, and the defendant bears no burden whatsoever of proving their innocence, and is not required to testify, since they are immediately presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. And sometimes in such abuse cases, the allegations are so outrageous or unbelievable, that it is not even worth the risk to have the defendant testify, because the alleged victim has already destroyed his or her own credibility. The greatest uncertainty, however, of a defendant testifying is how he will withstand the cross-examination. Cross-examinations are always brutal, no matter the level of experience. It is practically impossible for the defense attorney to know every single question the prosecutor may ask, and there is always a concern that a good cross-examination from any seasoned prosecutor could completely undermine a defendant's credibility, posing a great risk to the case. If the defendant's credibility is undermined during cross-examination, then it would have been better if the defendant had not testified at all. When the prosecution manages to get a crack at the defendant during cross-examination, they will focus all their efforts on that, and even the most convincing and credible defendant can easily be branded untruthful in a matter of minutes. It can very easily turn into an unbelievable mess. Aside from the burden of evidence, defendants are also entitled not to testify in their own defense, simply to preserve their Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. Self-incrimination is very likely, especially in such sensitive cases. One wrong recollection of a simple detail like a date could very easily lead into self-incrimination. And when a defendant voluntarily takes the stand, he automatically waives the right to plead the Fifth Amendment, and he will be compelled to answer all the prosecution's questions as well as his own attorneys, to the best of his knowledge. It's no wonder R. Kelly's strategy has always been not to take the stand in his own trials. It may just as well be the best trial tactic for him, especially in such sensitive cases. Most of his fans have expressed their support for the RnB King's decision not to take the stand. Ariel says, R. Kelly is innocent, and it is already evident that all the testimonies shared in the Chicago trial so far. Anyone who can't see this has just chosen to look aside. R. Kelly and his legal team surely made the right decision to stay away from the stand. In fact, it has evidently already started paying results. We have also already seen that some were actually untruthful about their ages so they could feature in the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, probably with the promise of money. R. Kelly's career should not be ruined because of such people. Whatever the case, I believe the jury this time will be more objective and see between the lies that are being told about Kelly and rule in his favor. May justice prevail. Free R. Kelly. Nicholas says, it is evident why R. Kelly chose not to take the stand in New York, and now in Chicago. In fact, one can say R. Kelly is now getting the best legal services there can be. Bonjean also evidently appreciated the strategy of not testifying. Well, let's wait and see how it all plays out. I have full confidence in his lead attorney, Bonjean. She has done a great job so far, and we wait to see where she will go with our pending appeal. Good luck, R. Kelly. That's all we had for you today. Please let us know in the comment section below if you believe that R. Kelly is actually winning this one. We value your honest opinion. Thank you for watching LFN News, a production of LFN Media, giving you another view of issues at hand. To get notified whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now and hit the notification icon. And remember to give us your comment on the subject matter below.